So today we will discuss about animal poisons. Firstly, we will discuss about snake venom and its poisoning. Snake belongs to the suborder Ophidia. So the study of snake is known as ophiology. So ophiology is a study of snakes. In worldwide, there are 3,500 species of snakes. Of them, 350 species are venomous. In Indian scenario, most of the snakes are non-venomous. There are 330 snakes species found in Indian continent, and in 330 snake species there are 70 venomous snake species. So 70 are venomous, 40 are land snakes, and 30 are sea snakes. Those are venomous. So the list of the venomous snakes, the most common snake in India are king cobra. Number one is king cobra. King cobra is very large, around 4 meter long. Then common cobra, which is about 1 meter long and a spectacle mark in the head. Common kraits, these are found in villages. Then Russell viper and saw-scaled viper. And other venomous snakes which are found rarely are hump-nosed viper and sea snake. So we should differentiate which are venomous and which are non-venomous snake. So for differentiation, we need to know the characteristic features of venomous and non-venomous snake. So this is a king cobra, which is large. This is common cobra. This is common kraits, and this is Russell viper. This is a saw-scaled viper. So let us talk about venomous and non-venomous snakes. We can differentiate it by several points. First is head scales. So the scales found in the head. In venomous snake, the head scales are smaller. In non-venomous, it is larger, but there is exception. In venomous snake, larger scales are found. In cobras, kraits and pit viper, the scales are larger. The characteristic marking of cobra is the third supralabial scale of the head is the largest scale found in cobra. The third supralabial scale, and this scale touches both eye and the nasal shield of cobra. It is the characteristic feature. In kraits, the fourth infralabial scale in the lower jaw of kraits is the largest. And in pit viper, there are several pits in the head, which is the identifying characteristics of pit viper. So these are the exception. Second point is belly scales. In venomous snakes, the belly scales are large, and in non-venomous snakes, the belly scales are small. And in venomous snake, this large belly scales covers entire breadth of the snake, but in non-venomous snake, it doesn't cover the whole breadth. The third point to remember is the characteristics finding in mouth. In venomous snakes, there are two fangs. By these fangs, snake injects poisons in the body. In non-venomous snake, there is no fang because it doesn't release the poison, but there are several small teeth in a rows. So the bite mark of the venomous snake and a non-venomous snake can be differentiated easily. The fourth point is about tails. The tail of a venomous snake is compressed or flat. Flat tails are found in sea snakes, but not compressed in non-venomous snakes. And the final point is about habitats or habits. Venomous snakes are mostly nocturnal, and the non-venomous snakes are mostly diurnal. So that is how we can differentiate between venomous and non-venomous snakes, and it is important to differentiate for the medication and the management of the snake bite. Most of the snakes are non-venomous and few are the venomous snakes. So this is the cobra. The third supralabial scale is the largest, and it is the common trait. You can see the fourth infralabial scale is the largest, and characteristic hexagonal markings can be found. So this is venomous apparatus. Let's talk about venomous apparatus. Venomous apparatus is consist of two fangs and one venom canal and the poison gland. So the poison is stored and released from the poison gland through venom canal, and it is injected into the body by the fangs in venomous snakes. The venom is the saliva of the snake, and it contains many toxins such as neurotoxin, vascular toxin, myotoxins, and cardiotoxins. So let us talk about venomix. What is venomix? Venomix is the study of composition of snake venom. So the study of snake venom is known as venomix. Venom is composed of 90% proteins, polypeptides, and many other organic inorganic substances. Mainly, venom is enzymes. Enzymes such as cholinesterase, hyaluronidase, hemolysins, thrombolysins, cardiotoxins, those are found in venom, snake venom. The proportion of the toxins determines whether it will be neurotoxin, whether it will be vascular toxin or myotoxin or cardiotoxin. The proportion or amount of the substances or enzymes determines its nature of toxin. Toxins are classified into several groups. Those are neurotoxin. In neurotoxin, mainly the higher proportion of neurotoxin agents, but there are other toxin presents also, but the main is neurotoxic. Vascular toxin, myotoxin, and cardiotoxin. In vascular toxin, the proportion is higher of vascular toxins, but there are other toxins present also. So it depends on the proportion. So what is proteome? Proteome is named after proteins and genomes. Proteome is the entire set of proteins expressed by a genome, cell, tissue, and organism. So it's the entire set of protein. Let us talk about the family of snakes found in India, most commonly found in India. So there are three families. Those are the commonest finding snakes in India. Those three families are Elapidae, Viperidae. Those are Elapidae, Viperidae, and Hydrophidae. The main thing to remember is that Elapidae group of snakes are neurotoxic, and the Viperidae groups are hemotoxic or vasculotoxic. And Hydrophidae family groups are myotoxic in nature. The neurotoxic Elapidae, in this family, there are three main snakes commonest in India. Those are king cobra, common cobra, and kraits. In Viperidae family, there are three commonest snake found in India. Those are Russell viper, saw-scaled viper, and hump-nosed viper. Hump-nosed viper. In the myotoxic Hydrophidae, most are sea snakes, and those are venomous. In those snakes found in India, the common cobra, kraits, Russell viper, and saw-scaled viper are the commonest, and those are known as Big Four family. So Big Four family is composed of common cobra, kraits, Russell viper, and the saw-scaled viper. The anti-snake venom is directed against these four venoms of these four snake venoms: common cobra, kraits, Russell viper, and saw-scaled viper. It doesn't work against hump-nosed viper or king cobra or sea snakes. Now let us talk about the absorption and the excretion of the venom. So let us discuss about it in three parts: transport of the venom, absorption of the venom, and the excretion of the venom. Transport of the venom is done by mainly lymphatics and the superficial veins. Snake venom travels through the lymphatics and the superficial vein, and that is why a light tourniquet may be useful. A tourniquet about 55 mmHg, pressure about 55 mmHg, can block the lymphatics and superficial channels so that the transport of the venom is occluded. Absorption. Poisonous only when injected, harmless when taken by mouth. So when it is injected, it is effective. Oral sucking of venom may not harm the rescuer if he accidentally swallow poison, but if he has ulcer in the mouth, venom can get absorbed from there and cause harm. So oral sucking is harmless. The venom is not absorbed through stomach. Excretion. Venom is excreted from kidney, milk, salivary gland, and mucous membrane. So it is essential for the medication and treatment. We need to know about the snake. So we should identify the snakes. For identifying, there are several features such as king cobra is 4 meter long, 3 to 4 meter long, is a very long snake, and the common cobra is shorter, less than 1 meter, 1 or 1.5 meter. And the main characteristic feature of common cobra, which differentiate it from the king cobra, is the spectacle marks on the head. So there is a spectacle mark found in the head of the common cobra, and the third supralabial scale is larger in king cobra and common cobra too. So by these points we can differentiate king cobra, common cobra, and spectacle marks found in the head of the common cobra. Next is crates. So we can see large hexagonal scales found in the dorsum of the body of the snake. There is a row of hexagonal scale in a line in the dorsum, and the fourth infralabial scale is the largest scale. Let's talk about Russell viper and the saw-scaled viper, which belongs to the Viperidae family and are vascular toxic or hemotoxic. In Russell viper, spectacle shape marks found in the whole length of the body. So it is easily identifiable, the spectacle marks. And in saw-scaled viper, there is a peculiar arrow mark. There is an arrow mark on the head of the saw-scaled viper, which differentiates it from the Russell viper. This is the common cobra. You can identify the spectacle mark on the back of the head. This is the king cobra. It is very long, and this is a common crate. This is a Russell viper. You can see the spectacle shaped mark in the whole length of the body. And this is the saw-scaled viper. You can differentiate it from the Russell viper from the arrow shaped mark in the head. It is easily identifiable. Now let's talk about the snake bite. So we can classify it into venomous snake bite and the non-venomous snake bite. So venomous snake bite are dangerous, non-venomous are not. Firstly, we should able to differentiate it from the markings of the snake bite. So venomous snake bite leaves two impression of the fangs. When a snake bites, it normally leaves two faint impression. Those are distance between 8 mm to 4 cm separated at a distance. So there are two marks. But in non-venomous snakes, as there is no fangs, so it doesn't leave any impressions. It leaves a number of small impressions in a row. In venomous snake bite, there is only two fangs impression. But in non-venomous, there is a small impression in a row. Let's talk about dry bite. So what is dry bite? When a snake bites but venom fails to get injected, it is known as dry bite. The snake bites but the venom doesn't get injected, so poisoning doesn't occur. 20% of all snake bites are dry bites. So what is the reason of dry bite? Suppose there are clothing and shoes, so dry bite can occur. There are sometimes superficial bites, so the poison or venom doesn't get injected. Snake bites but doesn't inject the venom. It is one of the most common cause of dry bite. Side wipes are rather than head-on bites, the side wipes is the reason of dry bite. Dry bites occur from other venomous animals also. What is ophitoxemia? Ophitoxemia. Ophis means serpent and toxon means poisoning. So ophitoxemia refers to the poisoning by snake venom. In more than 50% of cases, inadequate venom is injected, producing mild symptoms.